Hello, hello, beautiful people of the internet. Hello, Roxanne, it's me. Hello, the Chaucer. Hello, Master Maticus. Hello, Xenothought 2. Hello, Coldoge. Whew, it's good to be here. It's it's a long day. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Let's play some Battle Brothers. So, last we left off, we were rudely interrupted in our quest to rid this world of any sort of libraries. We can't have smart people here. Nobody, no readers, only cultists. Beautiful? That's debatable. Well, it's through a screen. You can be anything. So, I want to do the library. Right now, the team's mood is still a little low, so we do need to bump that up. Yeah, Crackalack here is, he's too smart. He's too smart for Davkul. Can you believe it? Yeah, finish out Orc Ambition is what I'm thinking. What I'm thinking is finish out the Orc Ambition, and honestly, might do Goblin City too. We'll have to move over to that side of the map. And so, you know, I think that'll be an opportunity to do it. You'll never get this fancy necklace off me till I die. That's true, we should put it at least over there. Oops. There we go. Who is the strongest bro right now? Objectively strongest? Well, there is no objectively strongest, because each bro fills a role within the team. But if I was forced to power rank them, probably Schrodinger here is our most powerful bro. Not only in stats, but in their team, their function on the team, and their equipment as well. And in the power of love. He also did solo the Madman without taking a hit. It's true. Objectively worst? There's no objectively worst. Let's see. One of our sacrificial victims, Dark Paladin 037, maybe? I don't know. But yeah, as far as like the bros we're actually like using, and Deep Space Cowboy's like a backup kind of maybe bro. I don't know. They all fill a role. I don't know. I can't like rank them like that. You're hard to deserter today. Feel like you need a shower. As long as you can get over their bad starting resolve, you know, you can. They've got good offensive stats sometimes, so. Anyway, yeah, so let's complete the Orc Ambition, bring the mood up in the team, sweep over this area, maybe do Goblin City, and then come back for Library. That's what I'm thinking. That'll be the arc of today's stream. So far, I feel like I've predicted the way the stream would go successfully, almost not at all. But maybe this time is different. Who knows? If we see any Alps, we would like to craft some happy powder. So maybe, instead, I was gonna travel through the middle of the map. I might kind of loop along the roads. And the thought there is I can stop by the cities. Getting a fight with Alps while wandering around is kind of difficult because they only exist on the world map at night. I thought today's arc was leveling up cycling. Well, we did that once yesterday. I didn't think that was going to be part of the arc, but boy, it happened. Yeah, that was something. Getting closer to 150, we are. We are getting closer to 150. So we're gonna have to, we've still got plenty of time, but you know, we gotta hop to it. Okay, not a lot here. We can also check for final cultists. The reason we are recruiting these cultists here is we want to have as many cultists on the team as possible to improve the probability of the conversion events, because we still have several bros that are not cultists yet. So we've got Comtrues here. An alternative Tom Cruise. Alternative universe Tom Cruise. Remember Anonymous? That squad felt like it could clear 2 black monoliths back to back. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this run has been fun. I mean, we're strong now. It just took, you know, a little bit to get there. All right, find Shattered Stronghold. We could maybe do simple quests, or contracts rather. The reason I want to do simple contracts is just to gain a little bit more renown. That's the fastest way to do it. Let's do it. It's dawn. We're heading to the southeast. We can probably just quick pop on one of these mountains and then find it. Or not. Wow. All right, we'll do these fights just to warm up a bit. So how is everybody today? How y'all doing? Hopefully well. Beautiful. Praising to Davkul. You love to see it. Okay, we'll let them all march forward and then we'll just get to blasting. These fights, trivial though they may be, are going to be crucial to improve the mood of the team. So we got to do them. This terrain is actually kind of obnoxious. This choke point isn't doing me the favor it might first appear. But that's okay. We'll make it work. That one zombie right there with the pitchfork is kind of in an obnoxious spot. I don't like it. But yeah, it was pretty crazy just how powerful the Anatomist squad got. They were so stupidly strong. It's just nuts. But I suppose that's kind of like what they can do, right? Turns out when there are potions that can buff up your bros, they end up getting pretty dang strong. Let's see, did I end up crafting a large powder bag? I'm trying to remember. No, I didn't. I have the snake skin, though, right? I just haven't been back to, yeah. What would you say is the stronger beginner-friendly origin? Probably just like the very first one that it provides you. I have the skin? Okay. Thought so. The very first one, rebuilding a company. I think it's a great starting origin. No gimmicks, nothing fancy. It's not like it's way easier or anything like that. Not dramatically anyway. It's still all of the things you need out of the game. Caca! Can't believe I didn't do that earlier. Now I can see where stuff is. At least for now. Yeah, I'll have to get a large powder bag for Xerxes. He will appreciate it. I'm sure of it. Where even is that nacho? Here? Huh. Something just consumed a corpse. Okay. Another round. Another round! Surprise zombie. Down there on the bottom. Surprise. Dead zombie. Shouldn't be too much longer now, until they're all dead. Certainly went through a lot of ammo. That's for sure. Two enemies left. I see this one. Is the other one like a nacho somewhere? Must be. Must have been. Then it ran away. Alright. So yeah, okay. Still got the serpent skin. Yeah, so I can craft a large powder bag if I stop by a town with a taxidermist. Maybe we'll be able to do that. Let's fight the Necro first, and then we'll fight the camp. Alright, this will be a little bit more open terrain, which will actually help make the combat not go so long. At least in this particular fight. Kind of obnoxious terrain, though. If we're being honest. It's kind of meh. It'll be okay, though. So I suppose I'll run Xerxes down to get ready for blasting next turn. Looks like that'll be a bigger chunk of enemies, I think. But we shall see. Apologize for the yawn. Had a very, very long day today. And I'm gonna have a very long day tomorrow, too. Tis rough. You've been up since 3? Yikes. I've not been up that long. Since 3? That's no good. That's not what you want. I've not been up since 3, though I am going to wake up tomorrow morning early. Not my favorite thing in the whole world, but nothing I can do about it. You get a 6 a.m. call, went to bed too early, and the body didn't know what to do, and I just woke up early. Yeah, I know that feeling. There's that kind of like nervous energy when you know you have to wake up early for something. And for me, at least, I know that whether it's good or bad, if I'm waking up for something like I'm excited about, like going on a trip somewhere, or it kind of doesn't matter why. Just the fact that I have to wake up early, sometimes my body's like, yeah, you're not gonna get a good night's sleep. You're gonna think maybe you missed your alarm. Like, or you'll wake up and be like, what time is it? I can't tell because it's so dark outside. That kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, that would be pretty bad, waking up that early. Yeah, if your flight's at 5 a.m., you're just not sleeping, right? Good. Okay, at least I'm glad I'm not alone in that. There's at least, you know, camaraderie, I suppose, even if it's not the most pleasant thing in the world. Bent arrow one's the same? Alright. Certainly not a unique experience then. We'll run this little bottom group down through towards the necro. Whoa. The sound effects are very good. They just are. I recognize most of the sounds because I've like heard them before in like stock sound libraries. It always kind of makes me wonder, like, whoever's voice or voices those sounds are. I wonder how that feels to know so many people have heard them do weird moaning sounds. I don't know. I feel like it'd be weird. Yeah, imagine some guy on a mic going, "Argh!" I mean, for what it's worth, having done, not for any commercial products, but having done sound design for games for various reasons, like game jams and things like that, definitely a lot more sounds were made with weird mouth sounds than I don't know, would have thought. Maybe they're recording during a drinking night. Maybe. Oh no, don't you run away. It's cheating. We'll release some random doggos. They'll take care of business. Release the hounds. That's right. Choppy Cat knows. That's your strategy against goblins? It's a pretty good one for goblins, that's for sure. Very effective against goblins. Get right in their face. And don't let them shoot you from afar. Nice. Take that, Mr. Necromancer. Alright. So we'll bust this camp quick, and then we'll hop on some of those mountains nearby. See what we can see. Quite possibly the fight density here might be good enough. Especially with clean fights, no injuries, things like that. Might be enough to bust, to bump up the team's mood to maybe consider doing library, we'll see. Yeah, these fights feel like a negligible amount of XP, so why do you do them? Yeah, they are negligible. You're not wrong. And yeah, it's just for the EXP, or excuse me, not for the EXP, for the morale in our current situation. The mood boost. Caw! Yeah, and it's true. It costs nothing to do them. Of all of my runs, do I have a favorite bro? And if so, why? Oh my goodness. I mean, there are definitely some bros that stand out for, you know, they're achievements or maybe quirky builds that sort of, they were like, you know, super unique brothers that maybe super unique combination of like perks and traits or items we had available. Definitely those would be the ones that were kind of my favorites, and they've been several. I would have to like go through each run. That's fun. And remind myself of all of them to kind of pick a favorite, because there's a certain amount of recency bias. Like for what it's worth, one of the things I'm thinking about is that tank thrower, which was a really cool build. But it was also like, I'm just thinking about it because it was relatively recent, you know. If you just do camps, your guys tend to stay white or light green. Is that not enough? Just trying to learn. Yeah, I mean, the more fights you can take, the better. Camps give the best loot, for sure. The other thing too is there are a number of other things that can affect the bro's mood, and luckily the game does a good job of telling you what they are if you hover over their unit card in your loadout screen or like the character roster. And so it'll say what caused the morale change. It doesn't give you a good feeling for how much it changed, but you can get a good feeling for what does and doesn't help your team just by looking at that. Hey, Kibio, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. We got some candles burning yet? We don't have, we've gotten not super lucky as far as the cultist specific events are concerned, sadly. So we've got some candles burning, but not as many as we'd like. We actually also just have fewer cultists than we'd like. We haven't gotten super lucky with conversions. We have a whole roster basically full of... Oh, interesting. Of cultists in reserve waiting to be sacrificed to feed to our main bros. And they're supposed to help with the likelihood of us getting, you know, a conversion event. And we're just not getting very many. Yeah, it's been kind of a cultist run. Which is interesting because that is actually quite different from my previous experience doing a cultist run. It was a long time ago. No, I mean, it was like over a year ago. Probably? I don't know, something like that. In any case, I remember I wasn't doing like the 150-day time limit. I think it was a little bit longer. It's actually, I think, probably my longest campaign I've ever done. And I remember I had the Prophet of Davkul in that run. Yeah, so the Chaucer asks a really, really, really good question that has been on my mind. The timing of the last sacrifice is going to be... It has implications. So, stated exactly as the Chaucer put it, being that we are getting a sacrifice about every 34 days, the real question is, that means our next sacrifice is going to be around day 142. Will 8 days give us enough time to recover morale before going to Monolith? And it's a good question. I'm hoping that we can get 2 things done in that time. 1, find some Alps and craft some happy powder. The other thing I'm hoping happens is that we convert at least a few more of our lowborn into cultists before that time happens. What happens on day 150? It is just the arbitrary time limit that I've placed on the runs. Yeah, just that's my personal run rules. That's my time constraint in this Winstreak series, basically. So it's arbitrary, right? But it's my own arbitrary rule. But yeah, so what I'm hoping is most bros can still be converted. Crackalack can't be, but Vance Lightning, Zenithop 4, Ixax, and Xerxes all could and hopefully will get the conversion event before then. If I can just fight one group of Alps, I can craft enough happy powder that I can normalize the team's mood nicely, even if there's a sacrifice right before Monolith. If we can't, then we need to ask the big question of, well, do we just go in a little early? Though going in early is slightly risky as well, because, well, anytime after day 129, there's a risk of a sacrifice. You're a cultist now? Yeah, Zenithot 2, or Zenithot 4, you are not yet. You're still a lumberjack. Won't the sacrifice make you stronger? It'll make some of the bros stronger, yeah. But it will make the non-cultists very unhappy. Your restarting the client often helps with cultist events. No direct experience though, it was Captain Zoo, I think. There were some Slurgy followers in there too. I don't know that that's true. I feel like the event manager, I mean, he might be right, but I don't think so. I'm pretty, with the exception of when we had that bug during the Oathtakers campaign, the event manager fires pretty regularly. If you restart the client, yes, you can trigger certain things to happen like early, but to me that's actually more an exploit. Like that's not the way the game was designed. So for example, if you get the contract, or excuse me, the ambition where you have to collect 2,000 crowns, it doesn't fire immediately. It's just like on a kind of refresh cycle, if you will. And if you restart the client, well, you'll get the ambition immediately. But like, it'll still happen. So, what's the drop dead date for the decision? I don't know that we have something super specific. I don't want to set anything too locked in stone. There we go. There's our camp. But yeah, what I was saying earlier, you can highlight over a bro's mood, and it'll say, you know, what has affected them recently. So things like getting injured, in the case of this crew, when there's a sacrifice, all those things will affect an individual bro's mood. And going into battle confident is like really powerful. Yeah, we've got the Idrak armor. We got it right here, and actually I think it might be sitting, the armor might be sitting on the sidelines right now, getting repaired. It got pretty scuffed recently. Yeah, horrified by sacrifice. They just don't know the way of Davkul yet. We haven't seen too many champions since getting the bounty hunter, except for when we were in Goblin Land. You can get champion fallen heroes, for example. And we haven't seen... We've seen a few champion chosen. That might be it though, actually. Other than goblins. I don't think I've seen any champion orcs either, right? I don't think we have. Oh, Geists. Hello. Goodbye. Honestly, leaving that one alive might not be a terrible idea, because that's the one he's going to possess, so I'm not going to kill it on purpose. The team is resolute. That is not who he possessed. Caca! Alright. A few zombies there sort of meandering around, not knowing what they're doing. Confused. I suppose that would make sense. They are zombies after all. And I think I'll back Master Maticus up. Don't have a good way of getting those Geists up there, except for maybe sending Kill for God. Figured that would be the one that he would possess. Just go ahead and give his little Tookus a push. Kind of handy that that skill staggers them, so you can lower enemy threats in the turn order, which can be really nice. I wonder what our hit chance was against the heater shield. Yeah, 30 or 73. Okay. Oh, we're certainly not going to push him back this time. See if we can get a stun. No, we're not going to be able to. Okay, we're gonna have to take care of this fallen hero. Didn't want to use that net there, but I think it's prudent to do so. Might just give Master Maticus a little, you know, swapsy-doozle as well. Yeah, even if we had taken bigger bleeds, the bro still has 9. So I'll show afterwards, since we're on the topic of mood, but looking at Master Maticus, so we got an injury. That is one of the things that can negatively impact a bro's mood. If they take an injury on the battlefield, it's a, you know, a decent little malice mark against their positivity. So close. Certainly went through a lot of ammo in all these fights. That's for sure. Off with your head. Alright. Got a few, you know, silver bowls, signet rings, various little treasures. So we'll head back to Hammerstead and turn in the contract. That'll get us awfully close to our third retinue, or excuse me, final retinue, 5th retinue. Sorry. I wouldn't be surprised if I misspeak more frequently during this stream, and I apologize in advance. I'm a little bit mentally zonked today. Brain slow, too many thinky time. But that's alright. We've got Battle Brothers here to give the good brain chemicals. Okay. Oh, and I was going to show. So, cut leg muscles on Master Maticus. Suffered an injury, so that made him feel sad. But that's okay. The other thing about this injury is content for now with being in reserve. So they won't take a mood penalty from being in reserve like a bro normally would by not participating in combats. You know the feeling? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a relatable thing. Many of us have been there. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, we're getting there. In good spirit. Lovely. But yeah, we're going to continue looking for potential fights against Alps. So we're not going to get it at either of these two places, but in Hammerer Den or possibly Tonder, maybe they'll have nightmares and we'll be able to find some Alps to fight. Trading caravan. Definitely. When did cycling even... Oh yeah. When did cycling even say that? How long ago was that? Oh, I missed it. Yeah. I think it's fair. Like, I think I even commented at the time that if you wanted to interpret the way I fought the Kraken as cheese, I don't know. Up to you. It's a fair interpretation. How did Slurgy cheese it? There's a video that I captured of specifically that fight. It's just essentially hiding a bunch of naked bros. Although it actually sort of, it was, in execution, ended up being real goofy. I hate it when hiding a bunch of naked guys next to a Kraken ends up being kind of goofy. And what I mean by that is, there was one tentacle on the map that was not cooperative, basically. Naked bros hidden next to tentacles is a good Friday night to you? Oh my. I'll keep that in mind next time I'm thinking about Christmas presents. So is there any chance at all that you might suffer a major loss, like loss after like day 100 when the majority of your squad can die, like in this run with nobles? Is there a chance? Yeah, of course. I mean, one thing that's beautiful about Battle Brothers is that the game doesn't have any sort of like normalization to its RNG. So, as stupid as this hyperbole sounds, and I understand how dumb it sounds, but it's true, we could die, we could lose the whole squad to a group of peasants, or caravan hands, or whatever. It would be ridiculously unlikely. And I guess in the case of like peasants, we could run away or whatever, but you know what I mean? Like we could get in that fight and never hit them because we roll a 5% every time. This is like lightning strikes and you win the lottery at the same time being far more likely than that. But anyway, my point stands. If you're in like a somewhat difficult fight that you should win, things could just go terribly and you just lose. So, and that's why I over-prepare. At this point, I'm not really taking too many risks because I want to accomplish this thing that I set out to do. So I'm way over-preparing for basically any fight. Anytime I'm taking the spicy fights, like early in a run, usually that is under the assumption that I know it'll be okay. There are some fights that I'm taking that are spicier than they need to be, but that's just, you know, to keep it fun. So. Okay, we had a weird holy war event. Just fire there. Hexen with some shrats. Interesting. Did something like this ever happen to you? They had a major defeat after day 100? Not for a long time, not after day 100, I guess. Certainly it's been a while. I don't know. Ooh. 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 Look at that hat. That's cheap. That's practically free. They're giving it away. The trusty beast coif. Yoink. Go ahead and take that. I'll always take a trusty beast coif. Yeah, that's just a straight up massive upgrade over the Saleh. Sweet. Great. Wonderful. We'll give it to Crackalack? Sure. We'll give it to Crackalack. I feel like that makes the most sense. Keep our tanky boy safe and tanky. Great. Okay. So do I want to go fight those Hexen? Really, I'm thinking, do I want to fight those Shrats? Wolf hat for the guy in the wolf armor. Yeah, I suppose we've got like this attachment on these. Britnoth is not wrong. We're giving it to the one, a bro who's flanked by bros with direwolf attachments. They'll be alright. Okay. So we'll buy some cheap food. Let's see, what is this contract? Some escort, or excuse me, patrol the roads kind of thing. No thanks. Let's see, do I want to fight these Hexen? What I'm thinking is, could I benefit from fighting Shrats to maybe make like light padding replacement to have that as an option for any armors that we find? Oh yeah, and our armor of the Ijirok is fixed up now, so we can put that back on. Let's give it to Kill for God, who's got absolutely endless fatigue. Hey Slurgy, you're wondering, is there any background? I always hire in ones you absolutely avoid. Well, if I'm hiring bros and I see thieves and brawlers, I basically always hire thieves and brawlers, assuming I'm looking for bros, right? Ones that I absolutely avoid, there's a few. Probably the ones that I'm most likely to avoid are, let's see, let's look at the list, just to remind myself. I mean, beggars are usually quite bad. It's pretty rare that I'm ever gonna buy a beggar. If I want a super, super cheap, like 30 gold higher, I'd almost rather have a cripple, basically always. Super early anyway. I don't really hire bastards because they usually come with kind of a gear tax and they're not that great. Refugees, vagabonds, and eunuchs are rare, but I don't know. Not that many that I absolutely avoid. Gladiators, yeah. No, that's a good point. Gladiators are just like worse sellswords, and they're more expensive, and they have less cool events. Yeah, Killer on the Run is a rare hire as well. I also rarely hire raiders. Same idea for not hiring raiders as nomads are available. And I usually just hire nomads instead, and they're really similar. What's better, an Oath Taker or a Hedge Knight? Depends on what you want. They have different stat lines. Overall, the Oath Taker, generally speaking. But there are certain roles that the Hedge Knight is much better suited for, so it depends on what you need. If you're looking for example, a forged tank. Let's see, do I want to fight these Hexen? Nah. It's been a while since you hired a hedge. I'll sometimes do it, so again, I have the luxury, you know, playing till day 150, I get the luxury of, you know, fishing for chads a bit. And sometimes if I'm in a situation where I see a Hedge Knight for sale and they've got like a big old bonk, like for example, not exactly like Radolf, but let's say there were a Hedge Knight with a two-handed flanged mace and some inexpensive armor, so not this. The price of the Hedge Knight can then be somewhat reasonable, where it's like, all right, I'm buying a premium bro and a bonk. And that's usually the situation where I might end up doing it. 11k for a bonk and a brawler? No, they're better than brawlers. They're good. Hedge Knights can be good. But they can, of course, just be worse than a brawler. Like if I were looking for a premium brother right now under a normal circumstances, like a non-cultist run, this is who I would hire. Because Swordmasters make incredible fatigue neutrals. And if I'm in the point of a campaign where I'm like hiring prestige premium brothers, I'm hiring Swordmasters if I can find them, because I'm hiring for fatigue neutrals to be part of my like second wave of bros. So like if I were assessing this particular hire screen, the ones that I'd be interested in would be the Swordmaster, the Brawler, maybe this Squire, and honestly also maybe the Cripple. Again, these things are like dependent on where my campaign is at, right? Potentially even the Shepherd if I want to throw her. So try them all out for possible. No, yeah, I'm just speaking in hypotheticals. We don't actually need any bros right now. We're not gonna hire anyone to train them up. Yeah, hunters are great if you need a backliner. Yes, definitely. Yeah, hunters are incredible for that specific function. Okay. Want to make sure I end up with enough ammo before I go on the next adventure through the wilds. It's really expensive here, but if we have, you know, stuff happening in these other cities where their ammo supplies are dwindled, or we're there at night. Okay, no nightmares, unfortunately. They've got other things going on. Nah. And how close are we? 3350? All right. I was gonna hopefully rehire the scavenger before we go out adventuring. You find hunters more consistently usable than those other two? Yeah, a hunter is always good enough to be on your squad. Thieves and brawlers occasionally can be pretty crummy. But a hunter, even if they like min roll ranged attack and they have no talent stars, they're still gonna be just fine as a thrower. Assassin with smoke pot and a Katal is pretty much free too. Yeah. And assassins can be really good. So like really, really good. Assassins can make really good fatigue neutrals, sometimes like Dodge Forge. It's often what I end up doing with them. Caca! If I run 2 spears, is 1 tank enough? Yeah. I usually only run 1 tank. Generally speaking. 2 spears and 1 tank is, for me, the perfect like ratio. You can do it, you know, other ways, of course, but... Thanks for all the help. I know it might be tedious to explain over and over again. Nah. Don't mind at all. They're good questions. No need to worry. And I don't mind explaining at all. The only thing that does get frustrating is if someone asks a question only so that they can disagree with something, which you've not done here. I'm not like pretending that you did. But that can be, you know, difficult to deal with. No one's really done it here in this particular Twitch chat, but at least not really. But there are people who will do such things. That's annoying. What do I think is the most fun origin? I don't know. It's funny because my answer, I feel like, has changed over the course of this series. Because at one point, I would have said that my least favorite was Anatomists. But I had so much fun in the Anatomist run, actually. So, I don't know. The Anatomist might have been my most fun that I've had this whole series. I like the scrappy, crappy starts. I like, you know, finding chads instead of starting with chads. I like that sort of excitement of discovery, like finding a good weapon in an ARPG kind of thing. So, I don't know. Like, I like playing the Deserters run because Deserters themselves are bad and the run is risky and scary and you have to be really careful and strategic. So even though I think Deserters are one of the worst backgrounds you can possibly have, I like starting as the Deserters because of how it makes you play. Yeah, Beast Slayers is interesting. Beast Slayers is one of the harder origins, but maybe of the best starting bros. Well, I don't know about, they have among the best. They have really good starting bros, yeah. Beast Slayers is a good one that's like pretty similar to the vanilla origins too. Like, it's not that different compared to like Oath Takers or Anatomists or Cultists or whatever. Yeah, starting with a guaranteed hybrid banner and late game nimble damage, bro. True, you do start out with a nice balance. Unlike Gladiators, where even though the Glads themselves are really good, you're not getting like a thrower. You're not getting any sort of like balance. So, don't think I need to keep that powder bag. Lion is kind of a shitter? What? I mean, he's difficult to build around, but you can't, I don't think you could possibly call Lion a shitter. That's, I don't know about that. Maybe Bear, but he's difficult to build around and his stars are pretty irrelevant. Bear is goated? Really? You think so? Depends on your bear, I suppose. I don't know, I haven't played that much Glads, so I defer to Sin's expertise here. That's probably my least played Origin. Fast adaptation shield. Bear builds are amazing. Interesting. Alright, so let's make an adventure out through the wilderness. Deciding if I want to do the contract to take on the unholds or not. We are at a taxidermist here, so yeah, we could do this quick. I'm trying to decide if I want to buy stuff first, and the reason is that we might complete the contract at nighttime, and I want to get all the ammo and food now before we adventure out. So let's just buy all that stuff now. That way if we complete the contract and it's nighttime, we're not undersupplied. Alright, no one holds that way. Got some random briggies. The Battle Brothers books are quite a bit thicker than what you imagine they might be. Oh, did you order the books? Exciting. Yeah, I got, so as previously mentioned, I'm going on a trip at the end of this month, at the end of January, and I got my reading. Look at this thing. This is disgusting. This is bigger than my head. It's the latest of the Stormlight archive. So, where to, anywhere fun? Just going to Mexico. Just going to a resort in Mexico. It is something my wife's family does somewhat regularly. So, should be good. Yeah, like an all-inclusive. Yep, exactly. So I'm gonna be sipping margaritas by the beach. Should be good. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to just being in the warmth, because it's like real cold, and I'm real sick of it being real cold. Boarding your pup? No, we've got some friends that are gonna take care of him. We don't really like boarding them, because, I don't know, they need people. Like, I know lots of dog owners probably, you know. Anyway, I don't know, they don't do well being, like, boarded. It wouldn't be good for them, so. How come your dog never shows up on stream? You need a dog cam? Oh, they show up all the time. In fact, hey Susie girl, you wanna hop on my lap? Hop on. She's literally right behind me. She was like laying right down there. This is Susie. She's one of the two ding dongs. She's a good girl. Yeah, aren't you? Yeah. But she's got a nice like little doggy bed right behind her, so she likes to rest on that. She's also like my shadow. She follows either me or my wife. She follows us around everywhere. Yeah, I didn't pick you up for any special reason. You can go back to laying down. You're a good girl. Yeah. Alright, we'll let that unhold go first. These weighted. It's kind of weird. I think we can still just start blasting. Or did they not wait? I wonder if I got confused. Anyway. Junk. Rude. Got him. But yeah, one of our first trips after we got a dog, which was Susie was our first, we looked into boarding, and because one of the places they, you know, they've got not really fur but hair, basically. They're like no sheds that, anyway, they need to get trimmed, and so we take them to a groomer. And you know, the groomer that we take them to does do boarding, but even though they do a great job and we really like them, we still couldn't, even with like a place that we knew and trusted, we were still just like, I don't know, apprehensive. So luckily we've got a bunch of friends that all have dogs, and we've dog sit for plenty of our friends. And so we just kind of have like a rotation kind of thing going on. Okay, so we had these lindworm scales that we got previously that were just hanging around, burning a hole in our pocket. We can craft some lindworm scale cloaks. Let's do that. Pet resorts, TV, couch, and pool. That'd be the life. Did we make the extra ammo pouch? We did. So Xerxes has his large powder bag. Very nice. So the lindworm scale cloaks, I think we'll probably hang on to for any named gear that we find. I don't think it's worth putting on anything. Like, we could throw it on the heavy lamellar, but like, it's a little gross. We're gonna grade it out a little bit. Make sure we've got something nice to put it on. And unfortunately, there's no more ammo for sale. So let's make a pass through the far edges of the map, because we bought a ton of food. And so camps do respawn. So there's going to be a bunch more camps that will have filled in the gaps in these places where we've been before. So we're going to make one nice sweep through there. Hopefully, if we can get the team in a good fighting spirit through our adventures and exploits, we'll be able to do the library, or excuse me, Goblin City on this little pass through the wilderness. After doing that, we'll return down south for the library. North seems kind of unexplored, and with your spear build, it seems like they'd be easy to clear. Yeah, like way up here. That's fair. Maybe should have. Maybe still can. And we do have the bounty hunter as well, so opportunity to fight champion chosen. Oh, and the witch's hut. I forgot about the witch's hut. The witch's hut is right here. Oh my goodness. I forgot about the witch's hut. We can do the witch's hut. We would like to have a few more tools available to knock some sense into the bros, but there are other ways we can do it. Witch's hut is like right there. So we can do it. We can do that right now, actually. After this, we're gonna fight these undead first, but we'll do the witch's hut. It's not too bad of a fight. We'll do that after this one. Time to get the bros drunk so they can't be controlled. I don't know. You put some chesty ladies, some nice looking gals, in front of a bunch of drunk army brats. Seems to me like that'd make them extra susceptible. This terrain is weird. Those breasts are lies. Tell that to them. Are bros army brats? I don't know, kinda. Military, whatever. Combat folk. However you want to view it. There we go. And there's the miasma. Caw-caw! Army brat is usually saved for children raised by adults on active duty. Oh, I suppose. Yeah. I mean not that then. That's true. That is kind of how that phrase is usually used, huh? No, you're right that it could crit you. That's true. That is usually how that term is used. And by usually, I mean like that's just what the term, I guess, kind of means colloquially. Your streamer is just a bit of a dum-dum. I'm on a brain break, it's fine. Yes, exactly. Yes. Thank you. My brain how dumb. So here I am with my battle brothers, so I can have, you know, small brain, big number. Feel good chemicals. It's what I'm after here. Priest found a hidey hole in this map? Yeah! Not too unlike some of the hidey holes that we were able to get against nomads. Oh, still got his guardian though. Where we had like designated gunner spots, little bunkers. Kind of incredible. Yeah, he's got quite the little setup back there. Ugh, rude. A priest is a nerd? Exactly. Get out of there. You... Oh, right. Can I shoot over this? No, I can't shoot over anything. Oof. Get in there, Crackalack. Get to crack-a-lackin'. The priests are just religious nerds? Right. Okay. Shoot, no shinies. Decent chance for shinies in those types of camps. Okay. So, the witch hut. Basically, the witch hut, let's see. At least, okay, everyone's in good spirit, that's good. Let's make sure we got smoke pots and flash pots. Nets. Kind of need to stock up on supplies a little bit. The consumables anyway. We may need to use smoke pots just to move our own bros out of zone of control of our other other bros. Having the shield and spear bros is actually going to be really nice because they are going to, if a bro gets converted or whatever, mind controlled, I don't know what phrase you want to use, they can push them. So, that was 100% Parmesan. That's fair. Fair enough. So we also have a secret tool, and that is Ragged Edge 82 is resilient. That will also decrease the amount of time that he would be... What word should I even use? Taunted? Tempted? So he can run forward, wait, and assuming he's like fast enough, which he's fairly slow. So I don't think he'll ever be faster than a Hexen. What is a Hexen's initiative? It's probably like decent, right? 100? Yeah, and they probably don't have any gear. So he's never going to be that fast. Which is too bad, but that's okay. Charmed. Thank you, Mepoi. That's what I'm saying. My brain. No brain good. Brain no good. So if he were faster though, he could like run forward before them, wait, get charmed, and then revert back. All within one round of combat, and then could do it, rinse and repeat, you know, next round. In this case, you know, he'll go after. We'll still push him forward. And so given that we're going to push him forward, we're actually going to give him a little bit better gear defensively because he might get sort of waylaid on by some beasts that are going to be surrounding the Hexen. So we'll give him a little bit better gear. Ideally, if we had like some wooden clubs, we would equip those as well. I think we'll be okay without, but the other option, of course, is you can stun brothers who get charmed. What we're going to be doing is using the shield push, because we got plenty of brothers with shield mastery. So we're going to push our own brothers out of the way. We also have the option to push with repel. And we'll probably, you know, by controlling our own brothers and things like that, we'll definitely take some damage. Before this fight, I am going to pop a Lionheart potion onto Choppy Cat. And so he's going to broadcast a bigger resolve buff. It'll make them a little more able to withstand the Hexen's charming ways. But yeah. And actually, I think the Falcon is genuinely going to be pretty useful in this fight as well. The other thing that's going to be key for us is that we have 9 lives on almost everyone. The only bros that don't have 9 lives are our ranged brothers. So, you know, our ranged brothers don't have 9 lives, but if they do their Hex ability, under normal circumstances, if you don't have 9 lives, then you like can't kill that Hexen, because then your brother will die. But because we have 9 lives, they won't. So, Ixax could maybe benefit from a resolve potion. Maybe, but we're not so concerned about him getting converted, actually. He's going to be further back, like physically, on the battlefield. So I'm less concerned with that. He's also easy to push around. So I'm not as concerned with him. You don't know how the AI targets charm? I don't either. But I highly doubt that it's based on their resolve. Much like how people imagine that a bro's range defense is a prime factor for enemies targeting with ranged units is just not true. If anything, I'm going to put the Undead Trophy on bros that I really don't want to have converted because of their offensive prowess, who I do plan on pushing forward. Kill for God would be a decent one. The Zoning Bro would be probably a good choice. Really any of our damage bros. Exciter might be a good one because we can keep him, and actually what we can do, let's give him a little bit lighter armor. Try to give him enough so that he can do knockover or strike down. He can stun with his big ol' stunning sticks. Oh, I guess we do have Deep Space Cowboy. Maybe we should bring Deep Space Cowboy into this fight. That'd be a good idea. That'd be a very good idea. In fact, that's an excellent idea. Let's do that. Maybe instead of Zenithot 4. He's got pretty low resolve, right? And let's give him the Undead Trophy, probably? Yeah. Alright. So let's do it. Let's fight the Witch Hut. I have not shown this fight yet in the whole series. In fact, I don't know how many times I've found the Witch Hut. Nope. 11 unholds, just casually walking around. All right. You pause at the forest clearing. The hut before you stands like a mere crumb. It's so quaint and easily forgotten, you wondered how it could survive, but perhaps its total banality and unassuming nature is itself a sort of armor. But you've been around this world long enough to trust your instinct, and right now your instinct is to wait. Soon enough, the hut's door pops open and an elderly woman hobbles out. She immediately waves in your direction. You and only you! Confused, you ask why just yourself, or more particularly, why would you ever trust her to begin with? She smiles. Because I know what the false king dreams of at night. The mercenaries around you turn about and ask what she said. You put a hand up and tell them to stay their ground while you have a talk with the mysterious woman. You come in with your sword drawn, just to find the woman offering you a bowl of stew. She suggests it is only rabbit and potatoes, and more the former than the latter. Sheathing your sword, you take the bowl and have a seat at the table with her opposite you. A couple of candles burn nearby, and there are glyphs painted on the walls in white, with similar shapes, and similar shapes hang from the ceiling as dream catchers. The woman puts her elbows on the table. There are trinkets wound into her hair, clips of bird bones and feathers. She carries a weathered face, though her eyes are starkly young, like pearls glimmering from the depths of a swamp. I knew you would come in, phantom of a friend, like a moth to flame, seeking truth which cannot be tamed. Pushing the bowl back across the table, you ask if she is a witch. She nods affirmatively and stares at you before nodding again. Good, you haven't killed me, which means you're thinking now. I am indeed a so-called witch, but I'm alone, entirely alone, and hounded by the others. You might call them my sisters, but these others know who you are just as I do, and they want your blood. They can smell it, and that is why I want to talk. Well, what is it that you want? The woman draws a long object wrapped in tablecloth and sets it on the table. She throws back its linens to reveal a jagged obsidian blade with a leather strips for its grip. Cut your flesh and bleed upon the black. The hexen and their lowly craft shall come, and then you shall kill them all. After that, we can talk. Sellsword and witch, witch and sellsword. You ask, what is in it for you? The witch cackles. Oh, sellsword, you are not in the business of allegiance, but in the business of gold. And with a clever turn of coin, you know friend can turn to foe. But I offer something more. A truth which cannot be seen. A truth for the false king. All right, we've already come this far. The black blade rests in your hand, and your reflection rests jaggedly in its stony grooves, stretched and pulled into every divot and edge. 'Tis a simple stone, a simple dagger, that is all. Not the least bit heavy, but you can feel the import. Like dust tossed upon a grave, there is not so much weight in the sand as there is in the throw itself. This blade is either loss or gain, and there's only one way to see which. The witch nods. You nod back and slash your upper arm. The blood pools into the stone, and your reflections disappear beneath the crimson. Almost growling, the witch eagerly leans in and presses the blade against the skin. More, sellsword! More! You slash again and flex. A spurt hits the stone. She takes the knife and slaps a spotless cloth onto the wound. Well enough, sellsword. Go to your men and prepare. You stand and look at the woman. You ask, and once I kill your enemies, then we talk again? She smiles. In so many words, yes. Then I will do so. When you step outside and inform the company that hostiles are coming, soon enough, the haggard women are spotted walking between the trees of the forest, their long fingernails scratching across the bark, and their drooling lips sniveling up to snort and cackle. The first to come through has a long head, shaped like a canoe. An infant's skull dangles from her necklace, and a leather bag bounces at her hip. 2 rabbit feet sticking out of the pouch. She glares at the hut and sniffs the air, then shifts her eyes upon you. Ah, have you made covenant with that bitch? You nod. The deal has been made, aye, and it will end with you dying at the end of this blade, and I believe she prefers to be called witch. Another Hexen steps forward. We prefer to call her cunt. Kill the sellswords, take the captain alive, but remove his eyes and that lousy tongue. The throngs of witches rush forward, some already shifting into licentious-looking younglings, while others revolve their arms in ritual rites. To battle. All right. So, well, hey, Suze, do you need a... Was that too scary? Do you need to hop on up here? Okay, you can go. All right. So basically, we've got a random smattering, a menagerie, a little group. A few nachos, many direwolves, an unhold, a swamp unhold, a few webnecks, and some hexen. So the witch know you were the false king and want you dead? Apparently so. And the false king is, there's some mythos around it that, you're basically told that you are in some way the descendant or alternate version of the Conqueror, actually. I don't know. The game is weird. Okay. So like I said, we're gonna try to get Ragged Edge 82 running forward. Oh. So Vance Lightning resisted several times, but eventually failed. So we can try to just stun him. He's gonna be going before us in the turn order. So. And we're gonna try to, you know, again, the team's gonna scatter a little bit. We're gonna push forward. We're gonna be mindful of any bros that are too scattered, and we're gonna, yeah, see if we can push Vance Lightning away. We'll see what we have to do. But we're gonna start out trying to get some space. Does Bone Plating absorb a stun? Should, yeah. Fearsome. Stunning him with a 30-pound mace, I see. Yeah. Stunning him with a 30-pound mace. Okay. Let's caca! Alright, not too much that we're missing here. This is a song by Morbid Angel, Caesar's Palace. You think it's based on the same story? Super cool to play while doing Black Monolith? Oh, that is cool. Okay, so we're either going to push with the Zoning Bro or stun with Nexiter. We're gonna try the push first. All right, that'll work. So that's gonna delay his turn next round, which is actually good enough for us. We're still gonna push forward because I want to get Ragged Edge 82 right up in their face because they're gonna be very, you know, high priority for conversion then. And who did I give? Oh, I gave it to Deep Space Cowboy, okay. Is the Conqueror the true king then? That's a good question. Could maybe put a dog down here. I think that's okay. So do I need to back up with Ixax? Maybe. But I think we're okay for now. So we'll get Deep Space Cowboy right up here. Sure. And we'll put Schrodinger up on the high ground. This Unhold's gonna charge into him. Do I want that? Maybe not. Maybe I go here instead? Well, I don't know, whatever. Let him charge. Well, that Hexen moved really far forward. Incredible. Bunch of failed conversions. You love to see it. So Vance Lightning. Oh yeah, he's not. He's only got one turn left of the charm though. I was gonna show him. Anyway. That was kind of funny. So let's see. What do we do with Xerxes? Do I need to be worried about Ixax? Like a little bit. But I really want to get as much damage onto these Hexen in this round of combat as we can. So, I think the play is going to be move down and attack this Hexen just the one time. Almost got him. So we'll try to go for a stun here. Got him. Alright. Put a doggy down. Do I try to kill this unhold? Maybe. Or do I go for the big nacho? Let's go for the big nacho. Okay. So far, so good. And let's get Ragged Edge 82 right up in there. Potentially Crackalack as well. Guess that'll be a bit harder. Maybe I just attack. Maybe I try to claim the high ground. Yeah. You think there's a charm bonus for being adjacent? Good, because this bro has relax. Alright, so something huge that just happened here that we're going to need to pay very close attention to is this Nacho just ate a bro. So, that's something that we have to be very, very, very mindful of. And this Hexen is trying to get away. So probably let's try to down this on hold. I could run up and stun, but I kind of don't see the point. Right. Now, Ixax, as previously stated, is one that doesn't have 9 lives. So unfortunately, the 1 hex on the battlefield currently is one we're not going to act against. So let's go ahead and do a bit of, you know. Lord Jingo, I might have walk over here and make sure that... Good. We can move 1 hex and still attack. Let's do it. Good, that Hexen is just gonna die. And so will this one. Dang it. Okay. I could stun this Hex, I suppose. Anyway, a little weird, but... Okay, doggies, be gentle on that one. Not that one. Okay. Banner's got 9, so... Alright, and this hex wore off. So we'll go ahead and just ka-chunk. Take that lady right out. We can save some hit points by not being in such a rush. Same deal here, we'll go with the stun on the Hexen. Well, actually that's kind of basically the fight. It's just about over. So her hex is gonna wear off, and we'll just finish her off. We actually got pretty lucky at the beginning of the combat as far as the charms were concerned. There were very few successful charms. Probably, I don't know the probability of them happening, but my intuition says that we got lucky. I don't know I don't know the numbers on the whole scenario, but pretty sure we got kind of lucky there. So that's the witch hut. I don't know. It's just a fight against a menagerie of little beasts and some beautiful ladies. And of course, then we get a random group of, you know, crafting materials. The fun thing about fighting Hex is they can drop the Black Marsh Stew. So, yeah. Resolve with a -35 penalty rolled twice. If both fail, then charmed. Okay. And we've got pretty decent resolve across the team now, so. Alright. The last of the witches is slain, and you have their corpses mutilated for good measure. Ears, lips, noses, toes. All of them cut off. Their bags are emptied out, and their items crushed into powder and covered in dust. Fleshy bits or animal parts are dumped into a pile and promptly burned. As the fire rises, the Hexen from the hut seemingly appears out of nowhere and takes you by the arm. Your men draw their swords, but you hold your hand up. You tell them to keep salting the earth, so to speak. And as you enter the hut, you take a look back to see a few of the men pissing on the embers of the fire. Love it. Inside the hut, you sit where you had before. On the table, you find something rolled up in a handkerchief, and the witch pinches its corner and rolls it between her finger and thumb. She looks up and tips her chin forward and turns her palms up. Who are you? The witch smiles. An old hag in a forest hut. Everything else is hearsay. You stare at her long enough to see there's little fruit to bear in chasing this question further. How do you know who I am? She stares at the wrapped item. I don't even know your name, sellsword, and I haven't the slightest inclination to begin to care. It is not a matter of who you are, but what you are. She turns her hands as though they were following a tune. The blood of the ancients resides within you. It resides within us all, but in you particular. Well. Her nose crinkles as she snorts, and she exhales. She grins madly.
It is ever so there, and if I can smell it, then the whole world can smell it.
Who are the ancients? She taps the handkerchief, and whatever is beneath wraps the table. She answers.
The ancients were men born before our time. Truly, truly before our time. Imagine a kingdom. Now imagine a kingdom that ruled kingdoms. An empire. That's correct. Now imagine an empire that ruled empires. Unfathomable power such as that leaves the world with great vengeance, and will spend its dying days ruining those which have ruined it.
You ask if the empire is dead. The witch smiles.
I suspect not, but I do not truly know.
What is Davkul? This is the question of the hour. Shrugging and leaning back, the Hexen asks you to repeat the name.
Davkul.
She shakes her head.
I have heard nothing about this Davkul. A supposed god, you say? Well, he has not spoken to me.
You stare at her and try to pry a hidden truth from her eyes, but she seems earnest in her response, and you change the subject. Were the greenskins human? The Hexen cackles.
I wish. Have you seen what orcs got between their legs? Wouldn't mind a ride on that if I knew it wouldn't tear me in half and fuck one end while wearing the other for a glove. Holy shit.
You raise an eyebrow and nod as though to say, of course. What did you call me, the false king? For the first time, there was a crack in the witch's facade. She purses her lips.
When did I call you that?
You point to the door and then to the table. You answer. I walked in here and you said I'd seek the truth, that you know what the false king dreams of. The Hexen taps the handkerchief rather mindlessly. She looks up.
Then you have my apologies, Sellsword. I remember no such thing. I am but a fragile and old woman. Older than I look, and I'm not being cheeky about that.
You press her on the matter, but she only stonewalls you further. What is it that I dream of? The Hexen leans forward. She puts her hands to your face, and you feel the leathery fingers press deep into your cheeks, like a half-dozen walnuts. They rub the corners of your eyes and tap your temples. All the while, she is smiling. And then she pulls back. You go to the noblemen and the rich, and they pay you gold, and in return you risk your life and limb, and you slaughter and murder and kill all that you can, and there you are day after day, wondering if that's all you're good for. And afterwards the highborn shut the door on you and your deeds, and you hear them inside having a grand time, music playing, womenfolk laughing, jesters joking, the festivities are riotous. And you are outside with a bag of gold in hand and its blood-slaked receipt. And you go down to the pub and you buy yourself a whore and tip a coin to the minstrel for a song, and you can taste a fine wine in even the cheapest of cellars, but there is no escape from that horrible feeling in the back of your head. That feeling you were born into fever, and all this violence and death is not a means to an end, but the end itself. It is what you are and what you always will be. She pauses, sighs, continues. Sellsword, the power of a lie is only equaled by one's desire to believe it. You live a powerful lie, and such power will not go easily. I beg of you, be only what you can understand. It was not yourself or your weaponry or the presence of your company whole which brought her fear, but only the dawning of some unknown realization as she speaks to you now. Who am I? You stand up yelling at the woman for answer. She slaps you in the face and you stiffen and falter back a step. A drop of blood slips down your cheek and you catch it in your cuff. The witch grabs the handkerchief and throws it off, revealing the obsidian blade beneath. It is sharper than you remember, a vivid sliver of yourself, running down the edge, as though you cracked a door towards a mirror. The Hexen sits down and pushes the weapon across the table.
No more questions, sellsword. There's only so much I know and so much you need to know. We've made a deal, and this is the end of it.
Taking the dagger, you ask what she did to it, but she refuses to answer. You then ask if there are more out there like her. She grins playfully.
I pray there are not.
You gain an obsidian dagger. So, we have an option here. This lady, she seems pretty nice. I can fix her. We'll do a very quick poll. This seems fun. This seems like the thing we should poll. Create a new poll. Okay. This will go on for 1 minute. I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick. I think you know what F, M, and K mean. For what it's worth, both F and M are the top one. K is the bottom. I'm leaving it up to you. I'll be back in just a second. All right, I'm glad that you made the correct choice. Wonderful. Between F, M, and K, F was absolutely the right answer. We're done then, and I shall take my leave. You bid the witch adieu, and she says nothing more. Outside, the men ask what she said, while others are making reference to sexual escapades. Well, well, well. You think you're smirking, but you really don't know. The conversation has left you in a fog, and from within the mist, you only depend upon what you know. Ordering the company back on the road. What happens when you kill her? I don't know. Now Slurgy needs the bag and old woman on stream chat voted on it. Well, I did set my sub goal at 69. Okay. Doesn't actually matter. Yeah, I mean, presumably there's just a different text there where you kill her. I don't know. And so, from this, we get the Obsidian Dagger. A hermit witch gave you this stone dagger after tampering it with your blood. Reflections in its glass seem to move on their own, but this is clearly a trick of the eye. Very curiously, however, blood never seems to dry if it rests upon the obsidian. So, you can see that the stats of this, 25 to 45, 20 and 70. Let's see, do I have a... are actually a bit more favorable even than a rondel dagger. So from the perspective of like a damaging dagger, it's kind of good, actually. The downside or upside, depends on the fight, is that when you kill an enemy with the obsidian dagger, as you can see on the bottom, it resurrects any human killed with it as a zombie fighting for you. So, kind of cool. We can give this, and if you kill like an undead, for example, it just stays dead. Yeah, infinite durability. Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, there's no durability on it at all. Huh. So this actually is a kind of useful weapon for us on bros that have 5 AP weapons and quick hands. We can make use of this as, you know, an extra way to use some fatigue. So the zoning bro, with his current setup, he can attack for 9 fatigue and then for 7. So almost fatigue neutral with like a double attack between the obsidian dagger and the goblin skirmisher's spire. Kind of cool. So we'll give it to the zoning bro. Congratulations, the zoning bro. You have an infinite durability dagger. So if you puncture a hedge knight, you can have a fallen hero basically. I suppose, yeah. The downside is that, yeah, the loot is gone. So if you kill that foe and they resurrect as a zombie ally, you lose that loot. Against most enemies, it's kind of a who cares, but the obsidian dagger is how you make your friends. Make friends in your 30s. I've been doing it all wrong. Cool. All right, so that was the witch hut. Pretty cool fight. Yeah, you don't need loot. And if only you could keep an army of them. But unfortunately, they despawn at the end of the battle, and they're gone forever. And it's sad. Okay. So, we march on. Is any bro really hurt? The banner, kind of. Ixax's pretty hurt. And so since he doesn't have 9, half health, let's pull him out for now. And we'll continue our adventures. Can you res anyone or just human? I think just human, right? So I think if you kill a goblin, they just stay dead. It's been a long time since I've had one of these. So. All right. I'll see if we can get an opportunity to demonstrate it. Oh, we got a champion here. He had a champion pointy stick. All right, so we'll run kite shields forward, shield wall up. Okay, and where do we put Xerxes? Maybe just here for this turn. Ooh. Got him. Oh, and I wonder, from beating a legendary location, do you get extra renown for that? Oh, and we get there's a couple champions, I didn't even see this other one. Reek Throat Cutter and Zugut Backstabber. Cool. Anyway, we might have enough renown to get our last retinue spot. Oh no, you're almost dieted? Nah, you're alright. You're alright. Yeah, it looks like a famed goblin spear. Crackalack is right. $43 hit points isn't alright. Nah. It's more than 0. Pretty sure that's all you need, right? How am I liking the Swordlands builds? That's what made you decide to try them? We've done bros with Swordlances before. These Swordlances came because we killed some... Oh my goodness. That pokey stick. Alright, we'll back up with Choppy Cat. But we've done Swordlands builds in this series before. He's got 9. He's alright. Oh, I should have used the new dagger there. See if we can find an opportunity to use it. So, at the next bleeding proc, have no fear, he'll be just fine. This stream used to be sponsored by Swordlands, exactly. Everyone knows you don't talk bad about previous sponsorship deals, that's in poor taste. No, I'm not a Swordlands hater. Don't get me confused with anyone else who is. I'm not a Swordlands lover, I think they're fine. They have their place. They're good against certain enemies, and not so good against others. And there's the 9 lives proc. Technically, gained hit points there. What a brave stance. I know. A typical, very brave, slurgy stance. They're the best weapon in the game, better than a famed two-handed mace, hammer, and axe combined. Wow. Strong statement. All right, we'll let these last 3 go. We could have dogs chase them, but the dogs could get wrecked a little bit. So let's take a look at our shinies. You can get 3 kills at once, and that just can't be beat. I mean, sometimes that's true. It's a nice strategic option. I think there is a sentiment that often gets promoted on Reddit of backline Swordlands. That is nonsense. The Swordlance is most useful when it's actually like up in the middle of things, where you can get the best possible AoE attacks from it, and often that includes hitting squishy backliners and finishing off bros that have been set up by others, which, you know, is how you can use it effectively. There's a bunch of enemies that it's really not good against, orc warriors, things like that, but bros aren't tied to their weapons, and there's no reason why a bro with a sword lance can't or shouldn't have like a two-handed mace or hammer or axe for engaging single targets directly in melee. So, round swing can get 12. Does the oh, if they get rotated. Okay, such a thing could happen. Okay, so let's take a look at our shinies. Ooh, damn, that's a very good shiny. That is an excellent shiny. Weapon skills building up less fatigue? Hell yeah. And a really nice damage roll? We'll take it. That's very good. And our poker here. All right, we'll take that too. Nothing wrong with it. Durability's ass? Yeah, I mean, it always is. It's just how those weapons go. That spear's gonna break. It's okay, it'll be good until it does. We could give this one to Crackalack. That would make good sense. We can give this one to someone else. Again, you know, we have the fighting spear as a backup. It's a way of preserving fatigue. So, you hate Goblin Fames with burning passion? I don't. I love them. I love them. So 29 to 41 damage, a little bit lower than a fighting spear. Not way lower, but a little bit lower. The main benefit here is just the weapon skills building up less fatigue. Technically, Schrodinger with a second wind potion can infinitely spear wall. How cool is that? Spear wall fatigue neutral. We're gonna have that as our backup. The sly stake for that very reason. Infinite until 34 hit points is gone. Well, true. It's only got 34 durability. However, if you are hitting enemies whose armor has already been destroyed, the durability is never lost when you hit points. So, infinite spear wall against enemies without armor. Schrodinger could take a literal army of most enemies. Okay, and we've got the Vile Pike here. So Kill Forgot has Polearm Mastery. So an interesting option would be, right, so this pike does an attack for 9. This one does an attack for 8. Very fatigue efficient. Gotta convince the black monolith skellies to fight naked. I mean, you saw, you know, what we did with a witch. Okay, we'll continue our adventure forward. Oh, aha! And we do have our final seat. So let's get the scavenger. Can't imagine there's any other thing we'd go with. I mean, we could maybe do like alchemist for final crafting later or something, but we'll just hire the scav back. And now we've got the full retinue. A couple more fancy goblins that we could fight. I feel like we should. It's the right thing to do. The Paymaster. We did briefly hire the Paymaster to prevent some desertion. Oh, and I suppose, whoops, should have put Ixax. We put Ixax in the wrong spot. They're attacking here now. At least the ones on the bottom. Alright, so we get a famed sword and spear. Yeah, 2 champs here. Give him a target there. Give these guys a target for their bolas. Okay. So maybe go down here. Could actually shoot this turn. Hit 3 of them. It's okay. Ever done a bolas build? There's no point, unfortunately. The bolas are just like a weak throwing weapon. There's no... If there were some quirky advantage to take, you know, quirky thing I could take advantage of, believe me, I would. But since there isn't one, nah. I mean, the only advantage they do have, which is sort of a meta advantage, is you can use them against Ancient Dead. Much like the heavy throwing axe. But like, I don't know. Goblin RP run when? That's the dream. We'll get there eventually. Probably in Legends? I don't think it is, actually. Quirky things you can take advantage of, Witch Hut knows what I mean. Exactly. Yeah, Legends does not have green skin player characters. Snape's bingo card. Oh no, for what? If someone asked if I tried Legends. Oh, right. Yeah. Right. Fair. Yeah, if only we could charm and keep little goblin pets. Hexen playthrough. It is interesting. So Hexen on the world map, they can appear with all kinds of beasts. They can also appear with brigands. I don't think they will ever appear with is that true? Yeah, I don't think they'll ever appear with like orcs or goblins. Okay. This shiny dagger missed. Let's see. I think XX can go up here. Wow, that's some incredible melee defense. Orcs dumb IRL, Rain Man against Charm? Could be. Yeah, and they don't want to be split apart. Or do they? Yeah, what was it like? Being split in twain while... Oh, how did she phrase it? It was quite a phrase. We'll have to be a little careful here with XX. Someone should have clipped that. Well, the VODs will exist. So... Alright, XX does not have 9 lives. So actually, should make sure we don't put him in real danger. There we go. And I think to preserve the dog's lives, do I let them run? Yeah, just in case. All right, so let's look at our shinies here. We got another spear. This one's not as good of a damage roll, right? Oh wait, no, 31 to 45, that's a, or 31 to 43, that's a really high damage roll. Okay. And then we got a sword. With some damage ignoring armor. We'll take a look at how that compares to some others. Do goblin bullets do full damage to skellies like throwing axes? I believe so. And they have more more uses in total, with 6. But the damage is just so low, unfortunately. If only they came in fame variants. Alright, so 31 to 43. Getting closer to a fighting axe's damage. A bit more durability. We could have another backup goblin spear. Kind of love it. Alright, and then this one, the backstabbing long blade. Let's see, how does this compare to the Scourge's Beheader? It'll be slightly better against armored enemies, worse against everything else. Probably just sell this. But it's a treasure. A treasure's a treasure. We had a whole bunch of tools damage in that fight. Ooh. And I was just saying, champions, Shadok. Looks like a champion orc warrior. Cool. So Choppy Cat's still too hurt to participate in any fights. Ixax is borderline, but we can just be careful with him. Let's see. Yeah, so as long as we're careful with Ixax, I think that's the most important thing here. I wonder if Vance Lightning should have a different armor on. Ooh, not that one. This one. And the team is like a tiny bit scuffed. Let's see, this armor too, huh? Just have him put on this. Kind of like the free body shot though. Okay. Alright. Should be a nice little fight. We got a warlord and a Shadok, who has got a fancy cleaver. I definitely see where I'm going to be doing my gun blasting. That's already established. So we'll have to get a spear wall here. Or, let's see, how else could I do this? I could do it here, which then means Ragged Edge has to be there. Which means lightning could go like down there. Sure. Yoink. So if that's how I'm gonna do it, then I may as well push Vance Lightning up to this hex. I think I kind of like that. And Crackalack, we'll see if we can get on top of the Warlord. The Champion Warrior is a bit spooky. He may be able to get through the spear wall faster than I'd like, is something I'm concerned about. And so the Zoning Bro may need to kind of be in a position to be able to rotate him out. So let's get an Exciter down here. I think, especially given where they're conglomerating. His attacks aren't going to do that much damage. We're not going to get through that armor, like, at all. Yeah. Quite literally not at all, in fact. So we could put Crackalack right here, in Indom. A little spooky against a Cleaver, though, for, like, a Nimble Brother. Actually, probably better is to start out... He can't be pushed by this guy, because there's no hex for him to go to. So I think, because he gets a free attack here, better is actually to shield wall. You like heavy axes for warriors? Yeah, it's safer to fight against the heavy axes than the cleavers for the most part. All right, Master Maticus will go ahead and give a big ol' swipe. The Zoning Bro could just pick off this young. He's probably gonna die of his own accord though, so we'll just wait. Oh, so close. You're saying you like the Raider throwing axes for them? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, those axes, you know, it's probably not a bad idea to have in orc fights, especially a thrower with bags, which Ixax is not one of, but having the option of either the javelins or the throwing axes, because the throwing axes do more armor damage, that's legit. Yeah. That's a good idea. Let's see. Could even push Zenithot 4 up with the hammer and give this guy a big ol' ka-chunk. I think if his resolve weren't wavering after that scream, I would. So who do we ka-chunk with the Zoning Bro? It's like no good targets. Let's hit the champion. Maybe could put an Exciter here. He'll be just fine. Want to make sure this remains tools positive though, if we can at all help it. Let's get Ixax in a position where he can hit the young. Speaking of war crimes. Alright, so there goes the body armor stack. Twice. And a bone, whatever. Drunk? And so here, so that next rider gets an attack. Just back up. Okay, and how is Vance Lightning's spear? Still pretty good. Quick spear check across the board. Oh, they're all looking great. Okay. I think we just throw it twice here. Nothing to worry about. Here we're definitely going to end on, so we don't get pushed. Destroy that armor down there. Stab him with the fancy dagger. Stab him with the fancy spear. I did the secondary attack there by accident. Okay. There we go. Champion down. Alright. And so, no famed item from the camp, but we did get the famed item from the enemy. And it's not very good. It's just way too expensive to use anyway. And in this case, we got effectiveness against armor, which on a cleaver, we care about literally 0. I mean, basically 0. And maximum fatigue went down. Who cares? We don't care about those things at all. So we'll continue our little adventure. We'll see if we can get one more orc camp here in this part of the map. And then we will be able to complete our ambition. Needle Grove. It's a cool sounding area. I'm guessing you can't get famed bolas or notched blades, correct? Yeah. There's no famed version of those. If an orc cleaver rolled well enough, you wonder if it could be usable as a single swing fatigue neutral weapon. Decapitate can hit pretty hard. I mean, a famed orc cleaver can be good enough to be usable, but okay. Okay. When the game decides to fire an event, it takes, you know, essentially each event has a score, and it gets put in a big pool, and then it picks from them weighted average based on their score. The score for the conversion event has to be super high because we have so damn many cultists in our squad. And we get this crap. What a bunch of crap. We'll just go ahead and step right over the black monolith there. Yeah, you saw where we were walking? Yeah, it sucks. Just not what we want. We want, you know, we want our bros to become cultists. I don't recall that ever being a problem for me in my previous cultist runs. I feel like as long as I had a decent, you know, quorum of cultists, a good chunk of my bros being cultists, it was just easy peasy that they just naturally converted. So it's kind of disappointing that that's not happening here. Oh well. If we don't get any more conversion events, we might have to try to fight Black Monolith before we expect the sacrifice event. So, given that our last sacrifice was day 108, then, you know, maybe we want to try to plan to do Monolith by 129. Just to be, you know, sure. So, I don't know. We would hate to be, you know, gearing up to do Monolith, and then right in that moment, there's a sacrifice event, and then the bros' mood tanks down to like 0. That would be really annoying. And it would, you know, be the only way that this squad is really gonna struggle. I think we've got a pretty good team for mono here, actually. All right, we attack with this, follow up with the dagger. Would be fun if there were a last sacrifice. Yeah, it would. I would like for there to be one more. I really would. Operation Make Crack Like Happy 2, Electric Boogaloo. Get him, Dobie. Good try. There you go. Good boy. Yeah, Operation Make Crackalack Happy too would be a little easier with a little, you know, happy powder. Specifically for a bro with crack in their name. Just seems right. Alright, we'll just do all 3 of these stats on Ixax. And we've got a big ol' Orc Sea of Tents camp. We could maybe go do that. Complete the ambition there. Sure. Zazaruk. Nope. Let's see, is that guy gonna go back in? Okay. Sometimes if the patrol comes back, the camp can reconfigure itself. Okay, so who do we want to take in this fight, and how are our armors looking? Looks like Choppy Cat can come back in. We actually kind of need to ask ourselves too, who, if anyone, among the bros in this squad would we not want to take into Monolith? Honestly, maybe one of the spear bros. Just go in with 2. We'll go in with 2, you know, hammer and shield, basically. So then Ragged Edge 82 would probably be the one that would sit out. I think Vance Lightning and Schrodinger are too good. We're hoping Vance Lightning eventually finds Davkul in his heart. But so far, I don't know why he's not doing it. He's got 98 melee skill. What a monster. A monster that needs to find Davkul. We'd also like another sacrifice event because, you know, getting another set of candles on the cultists would be good, right? All the different associated buffs as far as resolve, fatigue recovery per turn, the not having resolve checks, you know, morale checks when stuff happens to your allies. That'd be really nice. Lord Jingo could get a nice little bump of plus 20 hit points. We'd love that, you know? So, anyway. We could kind of use some more forged armors, just generally. Too. Some famed forge armors. We can put this back on someone. This may as well go here. Can put one of these. Ixax engages in melee sometimes. Oh, the zoning bro should wear a different helmet, huh? Let's have Zenithot 4 sit out for now. Well, yeah, for this fight, it'll be fine. Alright, let's do another little Sea of Tents camp, huh? How about 24 little orcs? Cute little guys. Alright, there's a really nice place to blast the old handgun. So I think we should make sure to oblige. So where do we want to have our spear bros? Kind of depends on where the warriors and warlord go, so I guess we can still just wait a hot minute. Okay, so warlord's up top, and he's got the axe. Okay. So there's actually a couple spots that the gunner could go. So if he stood here, or here. One of those two hexes, he could go down or up. So if he was here, he could shoot up there and down there, and those are both really good. So if I want to do that, then I need to pull Schrodinger down. That Warlord's helmet's badass? It absolutely is. It absolutely is. Oh, I should have equipped... I guess I don't even have a fire pot. I was going to say should have equipped a fire pot. Literally can't. Alright, we'll leave Choppy Cat right where he is for now. So let's put Xerxes here. And we're going to peel back the top part of our formation. We'll have Crackalack in formation, kind of tank for us. So Schrodinger there, Ragged Edge 82 there, which means Advanced Lightning could go all the way down to there. You hope they make a second Battle Brothers and just lean into the fantasy. You want other playable races and maybe just a little magic. A little bit of magic, right? A little bit of magic. Might be nice. You know, as a treat. So we'll move here. Is there any risk of being charged by the young? Yes. So we'll end on. Fireball? Yeah. A little fireball never hurt anyone, you know? We'll get the zoning bro somewhere central so he can rotate if someone needs it. So we'll put him like right there maybe. And Kill for God. Maybe we'll bring... I'll just put him like here. Exciter. Can probably like duel an Orc Warrior on bottom. Lord Jingo, let's just scooch right on back there. If the goblins get shamans, we get wizards. Maybe some elemental magic. Wow. That orc made it through. That orc made it through right away. That is annoying. Even stunned him. We have a lot of damage we need to do, like in aggregate on this battlefield. Like, you'd like if they added more legendary locations in general and somehow to extend the later game with a little more DLCs. Yeah, I mean it's a lovely game, right? It's a lovely game that it would be cool if there were even more of it. Okay, got him fleeing. That's at least good. Crackalack, we don't want him to be pushed. So we'll just end on him. So Lord Jingo, I don't want him to get surrounded too much. So I'm a little reluctant to push him up one hex here. But we'll see where these other nerds go. Alright, Master Maticus I might alley-oop for an Exciter. Destroy some armor. Kill for God. We'll go ahead and joink. Sproink. Probably leave Choppy Cat right where he's at. Schrodinger will also stay. course, there is the risk of this young getting rallied by the Orc Warlord's scream, so... Pretty pitiful amount of damage from the long axe, but again, I don't want Lord Jingo to get surrounded, so... Alright, so we've got a pretty dang good handgun blast right there. I think enough armor's been chunked off this warrior that I think Master Maticus can pretty happily reap right there. And yeah, we'll just stay right there. They're flanking? Yes, they are. Wait on X-Axe for the moment. Probably also wait on the zoning bro. How's our spear doing? 75? How's this one? 87. Good, that one did not rally. We'll just let him keep occupying that hex. Totally cool with that. Crackalack will indom again. Kill for God will do the same sweep. Armor damage on the Sword Lance is terrible, so this is not as good an attack as it might look. It doesn't really have any other options. I guess we could make sure no one gets through the spear wall there. How's this spear doing? 95. So I guess given that these nerds retreated, maybe I can push Lord Jingo up. It'll make the Sword Lance hit a lot better. Oh, right. Oh my goodness, the double push there. Oh my god, holy shit. Oh my god, holy god. Alright. Okay. So. Vance Lightning is in danger. The Zoning Bro can rotate, but we're gonna have to let him get hit first so that the Zoning Bro doesn't just go in there and commit suicide. We've got some extra fatigue here. We could put a dog down. Need to make sure that doesn't end up being, you know, just feeding them resolve. I think putting the dog here is probably going to be just fine. So we can move here so that Ix-Ax can kind of take the slack off of Vance Lightning. This warrior is going to want to attack him when the time comes. This young rallied. Oh wait, that must be a new one. Might have Crackalack give this guy a little poke so that he can get set up. Oh, that is so close. That is so close. Okay. Xerxes is full on just like attacking in melee here. That's why we like those noble swords. Ooh, we went for the stun. Glad he didn't get it. Okay. We'll need to make a decision on when to help rotate Vance Lightning. Probably gonna let... I guess it's only this warrior that still needs to go. He's okay for now. If we manage fatigue on the zoning bro... Do we have... Is this the one? He's got the super cheek... Yeah, the super cheap poker. As long as we don't use too much fatigue, we can rotate twice, like next turn. So... That bottom berserker is going to round swing every time by the dog and Vance Lightning. Yeah. Yep. That's kind of what I was... Exactly. So Deep Space Cowboy is kind of queuing into what I'm thinking. Instead of rotating now, the key actually is this berserker. We got to make sure we're damaging that berserker sufficiently. Could throw a flash pot somewhere as well. We could also just kill him. That's pretty good, you know? Two jabs left. Do I just finish? No? I don't think so. So kill for God is best. I think I'll let this warrior try to bounce off the spear, and then I'll run forward and just axe that guy. Okay. So we are basically with certainty going to do the double rotation. I guess we only need to do a single rotation if I just kill this berserker, huh? Let's do that. And I think we'll swap to the Warhammer. I think that'll be something we'll want to use later. Vance Lightning doesn't have a spare shield? No. No, we don't expect his shield to get destroyed, actually. Crackle-Axe was destroyed. Actually, I should have attacked before putting the shield back up, but I don't think I'm even going to end on this turn. If he wants to push, that's fine. We're going to move with Kill for God. And just attack. Okay. This fire right here is a textbook fearsome lesson. Yes. Fearsome. Pretty good. Really tempted to put a dog down here on this warrior. I think we're far enough from the bulk of the action. It'll be okay. Alright, so I think we are going to rotate out Vance Lightning. Yoink. The Zoning Bro is now there. Xerxes. Lovely. There's an argument for finishing that guy off instead of just letting him sit there. Fleeing. Since there's the warlord there, but... Could throw a Daze Pot to lower the damage of the crew of nerds right here. Mostly just this guy though. It's kind of the only one to hit. I don't think we need to bail out the zoning bro yet. I guess I can just wait. On Choppy Cat. Master Maticus. I guess I'll destroy this warrior's armor for Ixax's cleaver. Seems right. My spear rolls allow throwers to stay in positions you'd never dare. Yeah, that is a huge part of, yeah, it's yes. It's a big part of the whole strategy. Dang! Didn't quite get our berserk. Kill for God has been just like a smidge away from a berserk proc a few times now. Yeah, I was gonna say that had to be like a 95. It was. Alright. We'll let these nerds flee. Let that nerd flee. Back at edge 82, out of fatigue for spear wall. So. Weapon swap, wait, absorb charge and stun. Stun the other guy, that's fine. Missing those berserk procs is such a great illustration of how Drunkard is so good. The HP thresholds on a lot of enemies put them right out of one-shot range for normal bros. Yeah, I agree with that. I guess we hold that spear wall. And we're actually going to put Vance Lightning in a slightly... I know we just bailed him out, but I think getting him on this Orc Warrior and doing Destroy Armor... Yeah. Let's do a Destroy Armor on... Brulk Zogtar. Oh, Jesus. Ixax is dead. The Orc Young did it. Not even an opportunity to smoke pot him. Ixax is gonna perish to the poison. Does not have 9. He's like my only guy without 9. We do have the Surgeon. And we still have the water flask. So, we do want to keep Ixax around. Unfortunately, when his turn comes, he's going to be turning into a pumpkin, as the saying goes. So, does that even show up on the... Anyway. Alright, let's throw a flash pot here. Guess I still spear wall here to hold off that warrior. Clear that guy out for Lord Jingo. God, do I put Vance Lightning here? That seems probably wrong. Xerxes might throw a smoke pot for himself and back up. I feel like that's a good idea. Even with all his hit points. An Exciter. Maybe I'll move him to here. Maybe I'll move him to here. Pass through zone of control. We don't want this warrior to go there. Screw it. And so here we'll swap to the Warhammer. Move Kill for God here. Finish off the young first, I think. You, go in a hole. Let's let those flee first before I move those bros. Yeah, Cracklack might do a couple more attacks here. Yeah. There we go, finally. That guy's no longer confident. Brave dogs. Orc warlords. They got a lot of hit points. You guys notice that? Orc warlords are weak to disarm though. True. Okay, so Ixax, broken elbow joint, we got something that'll fix them right up. Nothing to worry about there. Let's see what we got. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I wanted a good forged armor. Got it. Got there. Got the good forged armor. That's what you want to see. Excellent. And then, you know, there's a shield. It's an orc shield. It's an orc named shield. We don't care about this. But hey, it's got durability for days. I mean, so honestly though, this type of shield, if you had, if you've got bags and belts on your tank, this is the kind of shield that like when you're spamming Indom, you don't really care about the shield skills building up more fatigue or the maximum fatigue. You mostly care about the durability. If you're sitting there practically invulnerable, if you've got like an ultra incredible super giga tank, but those are hard to come by. Time to put some Lindworm on that armor? I think so. I think that's gonna be, it's gonna be Lindworm time for that armor. Whoa. Okay. So, pretty sweet armor. We can give that armor to someone. Let's see. 321 and minus 29 fatigue. It's pretty good too. Anytime you get a forged armor above 300, you're happy. How bad is the permanent injury? Let's see. Broken elbow joint. That doesn't look bad at all. I'm actually pretty sure he's just fine. I think Ixax is doing great. He's never felt better. Huh. Incredible. How you doing, Ixax? Looks good to me. We want to keep our good boy here. He's just a little thirsty. Yeah, he's just thirsty. Did you fix the banner? No. No, Banner's just living with a broken knee. That's just Choppy Cat's life. Choppy Cat's got a broken knee. The crippled Banner is, you know, a point of pride for this company. In before he leaves next sacrifice. Oh my god. That would be so depressing. That would be so depressing. That's why the more I think about it, I think if we don't get any conversions soon and or opportunities to convert bros, we might have to bump up the timeline for doing mono to not accidentally jeopardize it. I think that probably should happen. We'll see. So, what do we need before mono? We don't actually need anything at this point. It'd be nice to get the Emperor's countenance or whatever, the hat. So, do I think it could happen nowish? I mean, I'm not going to do it tonight, but yeah, we could do it anytime. I kind of wanted there to be one more sacrifice event, just for a little more, a little oomph, you know? But might not end up happening. Okay, so what is the worst forged armor that we've got rolling? Probably this coat of scales? No. Heavy lamellar, right? Pretty sure heavy lamellar is the worst that we've got someone wearing. Yes, looks like it. Troon 22. Thank you for the Prime sub. The first of 69. I forgot that I set that. Wonderful. Yeah, and we'll probably just pop the old Lindworm scale cloak on it. Pretty good. That is a rock solid bro right there. Lord Jingo can take a whole lot of punishment. Which is good, because his melee defense actually, like, you know, not that good. So what did, okay. So we can finally get rid of the decayed coat of plates with the nipple clamps. We'll keep the leather lamellar as a backup forged armor. Does Jingo have Backstabber? His primaries are pretty meh. No, he doesn't. His primaries are very meh. He's a very low statted brother. Yeah, for a level 13. No, he's a pretty run-of-the-mill fatigue neutral. So. Okay, so shields. We lost a few. Yeah, he's got 3 candles. He's been around a while. You know, a long-standing veteran, you know? I mean, we could put this on Crackalack. Honestly, we could even put it on... It's heavy. Just texting someone quick. You need a new shield? Yeah. You do. Let's give you one of these, actually. You're going to be the one in positions to maybe have it get destroyed. The Firm Protector. Alright, and the Zoning Bro gained a swag level. Our paranoid, club-footed hero. Okay. Well. Good fight. Tell everyone it was the Davkul Cultists who won here. In Ambition Fulfilled. So we get the Orc Trophy. Orc Trophy is a handy one. Grants immunity to being stunned. So there's a number of times where, like even in that fight, there was a turn where I did Indom on Crackalack that actually I would have rather not done Indom, and it was just to protect against the Orc charge stun. It can also be very useful to give to our Spear Bros when we're fighting against Orcs, so that if an enemy does charge in and successfully ka-chonk through, they still hold their spear wall. So we'll make sure to have that handy. And what happened to our... Oh yeah, Deep Space Cowboys got the Undead Trophy. Sure. Alright, so let's return down to Al-Hazif. We've got inventory just full of stuff that's worth a ton of money. But we'll make a little pit stop on the way. Actually, I should have at least looked at hit point values and stuff like that. A little reckless there. I think we're okay. No, Advanced Lightning, not so much. Alright, let's take a look at the battlefield. Alright, should be okay. We'll just need to be mindful of Advanced Lightning. We'll kind of keep him further back. I wonder if the zombie can go all the way to there. Let's see. You can. Fallen Hero with a battle axe is spooky. Yes, that's true. That one's true. Let's see, where do I want to have Xerxes? So we're going to put Schrödinger right there. I can get him up here. So Advanced Lightning, we're just going to pair up right next to Ragged Edge 82. Are any of the 3 Fallen Heroes helmets worth getting? Nah. Nah, they're gonna be lower in durability than anything we really need to bother with. Oh man, Master Maticus sees an opportunity that I don't know that he has the strength to resist. Okay. That's right. Stay out of there, buddy. Get spearwalled. Get spearwalled. Yeah, there's really nothing threatening down there. I was gonna maybe pull Vance Lightning back, but I don't know that I even need to. Well, I suppose, you know, spear durabilities may not be fully replenished. From that last fight, yeah, so Schrodinger's actually is a bit messed up. We're gonna have to have Schrodinger swap to a new spear. Not this round though, because we don't have quick hands. Let's see. Good try, Mr. Ghosts. I ain't afraid of no ghost. Okay. Let's move Cracklack up there. Have him contribute a little bit of damage. Alright. Weapon swap. Took that zombie's head clean off. You stepped out for a minute to do laundry. What was the permanent injury? It was absolutely nothing. No, it was a broken elbow, and we used the water skin immediately and just got rid of it. Okay, we are gonna pull Vance Lightning back down there though. How many water skins can you get in a single run? Exactly 1. There's only 1 water skin on the map. So. Seemed like a good use for it. I think here on top we're just gonna push forward. Bet Slurgy never had 99 elixirs at the final boss because you might need them later. Oh no, believe me. I am absolutely still a member of the 99 elixir crowd. For whatever reason, child Slurgy playing the Final Fantasy games absolutely had a different mindset. Yeah, half the inventory being elixirs. You know, and there I am, face to face with Kefka, realizing I just spent like the last several days like literally fighting dinosaurs. You're not even a threat to me. And I don't even need to use the, you know, the 8 mega elixirs that I accumulated over the course of the run. The run? The game. Fight enough dinos until your whole party can quick and double Ultima? Absolutely. This guy gets it. True bros now. Or, you know, get the Genji glove plus offering and do 9999 damage 8 times. Also a classic. Kid Me also taped down the controller to hit level 70 in the river while he went to school. Who needs the Esper bonuses? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that. The Leet River. Good times. Get pushed. Give that guy a good old bonk. Needed a turbo control, but we haven't. Actually, did it need it? Oh, I suppose so to hold down the button. Right. Yeah. See, and I never actually did that trick because I didn't know about it. So when I read read about it later in life, there was definitely a moment of like, oh, you can do that? No. I did play the Pixel remaster when it came out. Like, 4 or 5 years ago? Something like that. That was fun. Alright. We're gonna take the shiny valuables from here. The stuff we can sell for a pretty penny. Including this armor. Okay, that's, well, I suppose we can do a little bit better. Okay. You need to watch YouTube VODs to catch up on this run, I guess. Baldur's Gate 3 been keeping you occupied? Ah. How's Baldur's Gate 3 going for you? Diablo 2 existed and consumed your life for years. Yeah. Had to get that perfect Shaco. Had to collect your Stones of Jordan. Alright. And we are back to a city. To Al Hazif. Okay. And actually, this is going to be a good place for me to call it for the evening. I unfortunately have to wake up at 5 a.m. tomorrow to ensure that a server cutover that I did last night, or yesterday, or today, earlier today, oh my god, for when it gets used bright and early, actually performs as it's supposed to. So, that's going to be it for tonight. I will, yeah. So next time we'll see. I don't know exactly what. I'll have to take some time thinking about it. It may be, what is the day number? It is day 117. We might start doing Monolith prep next stream. I might skip on the library and Goblin City this time. We'll see. So anyway, to all of you, wherever you are in the world, make it a good one. Catch you next time. Ta-ta.